You're putting in the work and your traffic's climbing. Awesome! But if sales and subscribers aren't growing the way you'd hope, your bounce rate's probably getting in the way. A high bounce rate means people aren't sticking around long enough to convert, and that forces you to compensate by driving 20, 30, even 40% more traffic. In other words, you're working harder and getting less in return. The great news? If you fix it, you'll see better results across the board. Your ad campaigns will have higher conversion rates, your landing pages will yield more subscribers, and your blog posts will get better engagement. In this video, I'll break down what bounce rate actually means, the most common reasons visitors leave, when a high bounce rate might actually be a good sign, and 6 steps to reduce bounce rate, including a quick win you can implement in the next 15 minutes. The last tip in this video is a little controversial, but getting it right can make a huge difference. Ready? Let's get into it. Bounce rate is the percentage of visitors who land on a page and leave without doing anything else. They don't go to a different page, they don't watch a video or thumb through pictures. Just poof, they're gone. Most analytics tools treat a visit as a bounce when the session is very short, just a few seconds. The visitor doesn't click or trigger any key events, and they don't visit any other pages on your site. So, if 1,000 people visit a page and 400 leave without interacting or viewing a second page, the bounce rate is 40%. Lower is usually better, but not always. Before I jump into fixing bounce rate, there's one important thing to know. A high bounce rate isn't always bad. Context matters. If you run an e-commerce store, you want people to browse, compare options, and move towards checkout. A high bounce rate on a product or category page usually means something's off. But if you have a single page site, like a simple portfolio or resume, a high bounce rate might actually mean that your page worked. Visitors found what they needed quickly and left satisfied. So, before you panic, consider the purpose of your site. Okay, here are simple steps to reduce your bounce rate. Step 1. Identify the location of the problem. Does your entire site need help, or are 1 or 2 pages dragging everything down? You need to zoom in. A high bounce rate on your contact page? Not a big deal. A high bounce rate on a key landing page or product page? That's a problem. And yes, there are site-wide improvements you can make, like boosting performance, but eventually you'll need to take a close-up view to understand what's truly causing issues on pages with the highest bounce rates. Next, look at the bounce rate by traffic source. If a specific ad campaign sends visitors to your site who bounce immediately, you might be targeting the wrong audience or promising something your page doesn't deliver. Solving a high bounce rate in this case might simply mean shutting down an ad campaign. If organic search traffic bounces, you might be ranking for terms where the content doesn't match what people expect. Finally, consider bounce rates by device for browser. If the mobile bounce rate is much higher than desktop, it's a strong sign that your mobile experience needs work. Layout, speed, or both. Your analytics may even be able to zoom in further to examine individual devices, so you can identify problems specific to certain forums or browsers. Step 1 is detective work. Once you know where the problem is, you can fix the cause. Now it's time for step 2. This is the quick win I mentioned earlier. People don't wait around for slow sites. According to Google, even a couple of extra seconds of load time can cause a big jump in bounce rate. So, if your pages are slow, every other change is like fighting uphill. Start with a performance audit. Tools like GTmetrix are perfect for this. Enter the URL, look at the GTmetrix grade, Core Web Vitals, and the top issues they highlight. If your test shows room for improvement, there are a few things you can do to speed up your site. The first, implement caching. Caching stores a pre-generated version of your page on visitors' browsers, so when they come back, the site loads much more quickly. This reduces the strain on your server, freeing up resources to serve more visitors at once, and loads the site significantly faster for repeat visitors. So, if your site relies on seeing visitors more than once, and most do, you'll likely notice an overall bounce rate improvement from this single tool. Next, if your site isn't loading as quickly as it should, you need to optimize your code. This means minifying CSS and JavaScript to strip out unnecessary characters like spaces and comments, removing or reducing unused CSS so visitors' browsers only load what's needed for visible content, and improving how JavaScript loads by deferring JavaScript and delaying JavaScript execution. Your third task is to optimize images. Images are often the largest files on a web page. They're also incredibly important for most brands, so we're not about to suggest you remove them entirely. You do, however, need to optimize them for the web. To do this, first compress them. This should reduce their file size without sacrificing noticeable quality. Next, make sure they're in modern formats like WebP or AVIF when possible. Sorry, but goodbye JPEG. Finally, consider implementing lazy loading, so images below the fold only load once a visitor scrolls down to them. If all of this sounds like a lot of work, it is, especially if you have hundreds of images you've collected over time. This is why top-performing sites use WP Rocket, the easiest all-in-one performance optimization plugin for WordPress. It automatically enables 80% of performance best practices with a single tool. Instead of wrestling with multiple plugins or hiring an expensive developer, WP Rocket enables powerful caching right out of the box, helps you minify and further optimize your CSS and JavaScript, including removing unused CSS and improving how scripts load, provides an optional toggle to enable lazy loading for images, media, CSS background images, and iframes, and applies many other performance best practices automatically, from gzip compression to automatic lazy rendering. And to take things a step further, its sister product, Imagify, automatically handles all of the tedious image optimization for you. So, if you want the fastest path to improving bounce rate through better performance, WP Rocket is a no-brainer. It delivers instant speed gains without all the time and effort. Step 3 is all about improving your site's design and navigation. Because even if your site is fast, people will bounce if it feels confusing or untrustworthy. Here are some of the design and user experience issues that drive bounce rate up. Cluttered layouts with too many competing elements, menus that make it hard to know where to click, tiny fonts or low contrast text, and pages that just feel outdated. You know what I'm talking about. The good news is that there are some quick wins within reach. Consider some of the following UX improvements to see if any can be applied to your site. The first one, make sure your main call to action is obvious. When someone lands on the page, they should instantly understand what the page is about and what you want them to do next. After that, it's time to consider simplifying your navigation. Use clear labels and avoid layer after layer of drop-downs. Consider adding breadcrumbs so visitors can always trace their path back to any point at any time. The third win might take some time, but rethink how you place internal links. If you use them too much, like every other sentence, you're probably doing more harm than good. But if you don't include any links referencing key points or next steps, you're missing opportunities for visitors to dig deeper into your content. Finally, clean up the visual design. These days, less is more. Modern design styles, consistent spacing, and plenty of white space can make your site feel more trustworthy within seconds. Most sites see a huge portion of traffic from phones. If your mobile experience is painful, it'll show up in your bounce rate. This is where a site-wide bounce rate, sorted by device, is super helpful. Is your desktop bounce rate 30% and mobile 55%? you need to spend some time improving the mobile experience. You can check your metrics for individual pages as well. Sometimes mobile layouts are fine for some pages, but not others. When considering the mobile experience, you can also do some testing yourself. Using a variety of devices, visit the page you want to review and ask yourself, is the text readable without zooming? Are the buttons big enough to tap comfortably with a thumb? Is there enough space between clickable elements to avoid accidental taps? Does important content appear quickly, or is the top of the page filled with a giant graphic? Make a list of priorities for mobile improvements and watch your bounce rate improve. The fifth step is to fix content and intent mismatches. Sometimes a high bounce rate isn't about speed or layout. It's about missed expectations. If someone searches for black running shoes size 10 and lands on a page that loads quickly and looks trustworthy, but shows green sunglasses, they'll still click away. So, if you're struggling with a high bounce rate, make sure to match the promise of your title and meta description. If your title and meta description offers a step-by-step guide, don't deliver a vague, short article with a few generic tips. Make content scannable. Use headings, short paragraphs, lists, and images, so visitors can quickly see that they're in the right place. Write for your audience. The tone and depth for a professional audience will be very different from a non-technical hobbyist. Consider creating sample audience personas and identify who each piece of content is created for. Finally, be sure to add proof and trust signals where it makes sense. Reviews, star ratings, badges, and security icons can all reassure visitors, keep them engaged, and reduce bounce rate. You made it to step 6. This last one might be controversial because the same tool, used slightly differently, can produce dramatically different results. We're talking about pop-ups. Pop-ups, used badly, you know the annoying ones we're talking about, cause bounces. But when they're used well, they can reduce them. So, here are a few guidelines to consider. First, prioritize exit intent triggers over instant in-your-face pop-ups. If someone moves to close a tab, it might be a good moment to offer a small discount or free resource. Next, make sure the message is highly relevant to the page. A pop-up on a product page should reference that product or category, not something random. Finally, don't stack multiple pop-ups, chats, and notifications on top of each other. That's an instant back button moment. Under-promise and over-deliver. That's a great slogan for marketing, and it's exactly what I have for you today. Here's a bonus tip. It might be obvious and boring, but please fix broken links and 404s. You should have a recurring calendar reminder to regularly scan for broken internal links. It's amazing how these seem to come out of nowhere. Make sure you set up 301 redirects when you move or rename pages. And create a helpful 404 page with links back to key content and smart search functions so visitors don't just give up and leave. Every dead end on your site is going to put your bounce rate at risk. Don't let this happen to you. Whether your high bounce rate is caused by slow speed and poor performance, a design flaw, lack of mobile responsiveness, or something else, putting intentional effort into improving this metric will almost certainly improve the results of everything else you do. You don't have to fix everything overnight. But what's the quickest, most impactful change you can make today? It's performance. That's exactly why WP Rocket was built. With WP Rocket, you can implement 80% of performance best practices with one install. Turn on powerful caching in minutes, apply key file optimizations without touching code, and add lazy loading and other best practices. Give visitors a site that feels fast, so they stick around, read, click, and buy. So, here's your next move. Pick 3 to 5 pages with high bounce rates that actually matter for your business. Things like key blog posts, product pages, or landing pages. Run them through a performance test, install and configure WP Rocket, and fix any obvious UX or content issues I talked about today. Then, watch your analytics over the next few weeks. You'll start to see that when your site is fast, clear, and aligned with what visitors actually want, fewer people bounce, and a lot more of them stick around to read, subscribe, and buy. If you found this helpful and you want more practical ways to improve your WordPress site, be sure to subscribe and check out the other videos on this channel. And if you're ready to turn faster performance into lower bounce rates by the end of today, there's a link to WP Rocket in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.